receive the touchdown and tackle him inside the 5-yard line.
That's a good point, Gino. To be successful, Minnesota's safeties must make plays today. Cerimele, the big fullback, is in. Touchdown, Penn State.
I think the Penn State offense wanted to come out and make a statement today and say, hey, we can run the football. We still are Penn State, the same old team you're used to seeing for Joe Paterno's 50 years here. They want to run the ball first and throw the ball second.
Mike Cerimele and the Nittany Lions are on the scoreboard first.
Hey folks, hey, it's Frank Rauscher. October 14th. This is another installment of our AT&T Employee Engagement video series. I'm going to stick with the theme of football. I have Mike Cerimele with me, special guest, a good friend of mine. He is a living legend here in Pennsylvania, a phenomenal high school football player for Allentown Central Catholic. Went on to be a standout at Penn State, played for Joe Paterno, 3-year starter as fullback, also a team captain, and went on to have a career in the NFL. So Mike, really want to thank you for your time and just for sharing a few thoughts with my group members.
Thanks for being really
Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
What was it like playing for Joe Paterno?
Joe ran a very tight ship. You know, very, very demanding of us and of the team. It held us to a high standard of discipline, both on the field and off the field. And you know, he never strayed. You know, he was very strong-minded in the way he went about managing each one of us. If he had high expectations, it wasn't just a pro. He didn't have one standard. It's like, you know, if you were academically not performing up to his standards, I mean, you would be in his doghouse, and he'd hold you accountable, and like, you wouldn't get out of that doghouse, and it would affect your playing time. And I don't care who it was. I don't care if it was a LeVar Arrington, or if it was anybody, any high-level athlete that has come out of there, from that all the way down to a walk-on. If you're not performing academically, if you're not holding up your end academically, if you're missing breakfast in the morning, if you're missing training table, all this stuff he held against you because he realized how important all this stuff was. And if your teammates are willing to, sacrifice their time to get to all these different things and operate on a certain level, then shame on you. You're being selfish for not doing those things. You're being selfish, and you're not. It's not a team first concept, and he was a very team first guy.
Right. Yeah, I had an opportunity to meet him a couple of times, and I know at the alumni functions that I attended, he always stressed how the important thing for him was to have players after their playing days were over really have an impact on society, and you really have done that, Mike, in this community. You want to tell us a little bit about your role here at St. Luke's Health Network?
Yes, absolutely. Joe has always have a lasting impact, and that's one thing. Before he left coaching, or before he left his house or after school, he got done college, his father has ingrained in him, if you're going to leave and do something, make sure you're having a positive impact somewhere. Right. That's always struck home and hit home with me. And right now at St. Luke's here, I'm a community ambassador for the sports medicine department, and I help manage our relationships with our current school contracted schools within the area. We have a bunch of contracts. It's relationship maintenance and relationship building. On the other side of that, we are just opening this brand new sports performance center, bringing something real special to the athletes of Lehigh Valley. Not just the athletes, but the kids that are in the surrounding areas. This is going to be a very positive place. We're going to instill a lot of life lessons, positive life lessons these kids are going to be able to take away with them for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, this is great. A super new facility here, and this video is for my team members around the world, and I like to refer to them as corporate athletes. They have to be at their mentally sharpest in terms of the work that they're doing. They have to be at their peak performance at the level that they're doing things, and there's a lot of challenges that they face every day, especially in the area of technology, where the shelf life of technology is so short these days. So
Right.
when we're trying to exceed our customer expectations in the managed services business, it requires a lot on their part, and they do a great job. When we talk about adversity, you know, we all face adversity and handle it in different ways. You know, you dealt a lot, you know, in your playing career, and I'm sure in the business world. I think about your senior year back in 1999 when you guys were undefeated.
Yeah.
Went into the tail end of the season, 9-0, nationally ranked number 1 and number 2, looking for another national championship. And Minnesota comes into our house in Beaver Stadium and pulls a shocking upset, last-second field goal. And you mentioned LeVar Arrington. I heard him once say he'd never get over that loss. And then the next week, you guys go to Michigan, and tough game against Tom Brady, who's out the heroics last couple of seconds of the game, a couple touchdown passes. But, you know, just in general, you know, how does Mike Cerimele handle adversity, whether it was on the playing field or in the boardroom?
You know, I think my parents they've done a wonderful job getting me exposed by themselves. They did a great job teaching me those things, but they got me exposed early on to some really great coaches, and all those coaches had really and coaches and my parents and family members as well that, you know, I don't have to go into, but like really have ingrained in my mind the work ethic piece. I think it's hand in hand work ethic in this adversity thing. It's like, so like, you know, when things don't go your way, how are you going to respond? And I've always had it ingrained in my brain I'm a grinder. So
Right.
all I can do now is just go back to work, right? Get back to work, get back on track, get back to the drawing board. Okay, we lost here. This is how we lost. We're not doing well here. What did we do wrong here? Let's make these corrections. Let's get back after it. What good of this? What good is going to come of this if we sit back and think about, oh man, this is, you know, how could we let that? You can't sit around and mope.
Right.
You can't sit around and think about what could have happened. I'm a doer and I'm a grinder, and if things don't go your way, the only way you dig yourself out of that feeling is getting back on the horse and getting back after it and trying to fix those mistakes and just treat it as a learning process and not dwell on it. You know, I feel like negativity breeds negativity. Same thing, being positive, you know, breeds that positive things.
Right.
So that's the idea, is trying not to dwell on what happened. That's over with. Let's move on. We know we did wrong. Let's get better and just kind of plow forward. I'm a grinder. That's what I do, and that's how I've been.
I like that.
Wired.
Yep. I hear the players. They must get that from you when they talk about the grind, get out.
Yeah.
The grinder. So excellent. And just one last thing. Then your thoughts on leadership and humility. I know Penn State, the theme has always been, or the focus has always been on the team and not the individual.
Yeah.
It takes great leadership to get the most out of the players and the individuals to meet the objectives and the goals of the team. You know, what are some thoughts you could share with my team about leadership?
Yeah, I think you know, I think number one, communication, right? I think everything starts as a leader with communication and being honest and building some type of rapport through communication, being upfront and honest, and just being a straight shooter. So like being able to discuss and communicate everything that's going on is a huge piece to the leadership piece. I think along with that comes you know, through those things you build that trust and you build that respect from your peers, right? So on top, add to that, you have that work ethic piece. So now you have the work ethic piece, you have the communication going on, you have that drive, and now you're leading by example through your work ethic. You have that rapport because you're communicating. I think that's, you know, the three things that really kind of build and make that, you know,
Perfect.
that leading I guess characteristic.
Right. Awesome. Mike, thanks so much. Really appreciate it. I've got an incredible team. Folks that just really work hard. They have years of experience, and this video is for them. I really appreciate them watching it. I know you have had such an impact in this community. You're coaching at Central Catholic, my son's football team, and with Coach Tim DeGore, you guys have come in here and transformed things in a very short period of time, and really appreciate all that you're doing. You got a lot on your plate, and you know, I often tell people that when you surround yourself with good people, good things happen. And I just appreciate all that you're doing, and really appreciate the time taken out to share some thoughts with my team.
I think I respect the heck out of you. You know that, and I know what you're about and the type of person you are. Your team's lucky to have you as a leader, and I think I know you guys will be successful. And I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
All right.